Hey kiddos, so Ella is on her way after being rescued from Prince Shar. She is now on her way to the wedding of the giants, where she's hopefully going to find Lucinda. So Shar, who is the prince, sent her with one of his, I think, kingsmen, one of his knights, and his name is Sir Stephen. So they're on their way now to the giants. So, chapter 16. Sir Stephen was indeed talkative. He had a small manor in Frel, a wife, 4 daughters, and 2 hounds, or hounds are dogs. The hounds were the joy of his life, smarter than pigs and cats and dragons, all rolled together, he said. As we rode, he re-encountered tale after tale of their bravery and cleverness. When do you think we'll reach the giants? I asked when he stopped for a breath. 3 days, I should think. The day of the wedding. We might not arrive until after it ended, I thought gloomily. Can we go any faster? I don't need much sleep. Maybe you don't, and I'm eager to get back to those ogres. But the horses need their rest. We'll go as fast as he'll take us. I kicked the horse, hoping to spur him on, and hoping Sir Stephen wouldn't notice. Sir Stephen didn't, and the horse didn't either. Sir Stephen began a tale about exhausted horses and a charge against a dragon. When he finished, I hastily changed the subject. Do you like serving under the prince? Some might not fancy answering to a youngster, he said, but I'm a toiling knight. What's that? Not so noble. I can't carry my own horse, nor so greedily. I have no time to serve my king. Is Shar a toiling prince? That's a good description of him, little lady. I never saw a lad, page or princess, so eager to learn a new thing right every single time, always wanting perfection. He's quite special, you know. According to Sir Stephen, Shar was almost as wonderful as his hounds. He wasn't only eager to learn, he did learn, and very quickly. He was kind. They had departed Frel late because of his kindness. The cart of the fruit and vegetable seller had overturned in the road ahead of them. When the seller began screeching that everyone would trample his precious tomatoes and melons and lettuce, Shar had us right the cart. Then he spent the better part of an hour on his hands and knees rescuing vegetables, as he rescued me. You're a long mile prettier than a grape or a squash, and you'll need a long mile less rescuing. I never caught an ogre so neatly before. It's incredible what you can do with them. I didn't know anyone could talk to them. I turned the conversation away from me and back to Shar. He's smart and he's steady, the prince is, Sir Stephen continued. Too steady, maybe. Too serious, maybe. He laughs when there's something to laugh at, but he doesn't play enough. He's been with the king's council far too much. Sir Stephen was quiet for a rare moment. He laughed more in a morning with you than 2 weeks with us. He should frolic with the young folks more, but they're on their best behavior with a prince. He turned his head. Except for you, little lady. I was alarmed. Did I behave badly around the prince? I asked nervously. You acted natural, not like a courtier. Manners mistress would consider me an utter failure. I smiled at the thought. We spent our nights in the inns. The first night, I retired to my room soon after dinner. I set my Algulin wolf on the table next to my bed so he could protect my sleep. Then I opened my magic book. On the verso was a letter from Hattie to her mother. On the recto, one to the same lady from Olive. I read Hattie's first. Dear Mama, is not my penmanship so much improved? So is her handwriting a lot better? I've been practicing a lot. The words may be harder to read, and writing mistress disapproves of my spelling. But when you stand away from the page, is the result not charming? Sir Peter's daughter has vanished. Madame Edith says that she was called away in the night. However, I suspect that Madame Edith is lying and that Ella has run off. There was always something devilish and deedful about her, although her father is such a charming and rich man. My new terraces are divine, and I emerged among the other girls again 2 days ago when they arrived. I suspect my locks, her wig, may have vanished with Ella, a heartless prank to play on me. For me, I have always treated her with kindness. But I still hope she has come to no harm, and has not been eaten by ogres, or captured by bandits, or caught on fire, or fallen into bad company, as I often imagine her to. The rest of the letter recounted the accomplishments and compliments that Hattie received on a new gown and her other parts of life. She ended with a farewell to the largest flourish of all. Hattie, like this, like very, very pretty in cursive. Now from Olive, and I'm going to tell you now that Olive has an issue with spelling, because I think they're supposed to be around 15, 16, and she spells dear mother, and the entire thing's like this. D-E-E-R, like the animal, and then mother, M-U-C-H-E-R. So maybe that tells us something about Olive. Dear mother, I have been feeling poorly all week. I have headaches, especially when I read. You always say too much reading is bad for the eyes, but writing mistress won't listen. She called me a little more than an idiot, and said that there will be no hope for me when I am grown if I don't learn to read better. Hattie says Ella was bad to leave, but I think that she was not bad to talk to me. Ella did everything Hattie told her to. I wish people did what I want. It's just not fair. Your miserable daughter, Olive. The whole page was full of blots and cross-outs. Each letter was formed with a wobbly hand, as though the writer didn't know how to hold a pen. Oh, poor Olive, I thought. Her letter was followed by a sad tale about the genie in Aladdin's lamp. He had been forced by Aladdin's false uncle, the magician, to take up residence in the lamp, and had been given power to grant everyone wishes but his own. Before he was captured, he had been in love with a goose girl. The genie spent his years in the lamp longing for her, and wondering whether she married someone else, whether she'd grown old, or whether she died. I closed the book weeping a little. I wasn't confined to a lamp, but I sure was not free either. The size of things began to grow shortly after we started out on the third morning. In the past, objects far away had always appeared smaller than the objects close by. But now the old rule stood on its head. The trees near us were dwarfed by the trees in the distant ahead. At 10 o'clock, I saw a pumpkin as wide as I was tall. At 11, we passed one that was as big as a carriage, a pumpkin. At noon, we saw a giant. He was building a stone wall out of boulders. It was already twice my height, and I shuddered to think of the livestock that it would pen, and how big those animals might be. When the giant saw us, he trumpeted his pleasure. "Oya!" he called, dropping a rock and thundering towards us, his mouth open wide in a huge smile of welcome. Our horse reared in fright, and I struggled to keep my seat, till the giant reached down and touched the beast gently on his muzzle. So they're talking about a horse. He quieted instantly, and even nuzzled against the giant's touch. "Oop, ai, ow, kabi." Oh my gosh. "Oh, Poppy, oh," I said. It meant hello in Abdullah. I don't know what that is, but basically it's the giant's language. "We've come to attend the wedding of the Ulix's daughter," I added in Kyrian, or in English. "But we are too late." "You're just in time," he bellowed. "I'll lead you there." The farm was 2 hours away. Kubuduk, the giant, strolled next the horse. Is UX expecting you? He asked. No, I answered. Will she mind? Mind? She won't be able to thank you enough for coming. Giants love strangers. He paused. And friends, too. Lots of friends and strangers will be there. We traveled in silence for a while, with Kubuduk smiling down at us. Are you tired, hungry? He asked persistently. We're fine, Sir Stephen said, although I was starving. Everyone is polite except giants. We say when we're hungry, never mind. There's lots to eat at the giant's farm. Ux's house was visible an hour before we reached it, because that's how big it was. That's crazy. That's her house, Kudubuk answered, pointing. It's nice, isn't it? Enormously nice. Hugely nice, Sir Stephen said. Don't you think so, lass? I nodded. My heart began to pound so hard I thought it would catapult me backwards off of the horse. Soon I might find Lucinda. Soon I might be set free. All right, and that's where I'm going to stop. So they're just about to be at the wedding. So I'm excited. What do you think? Do you think Lucinda's going to be there? Yes or no? I don't know. I haven't decided.